How's it going, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you hit the like button upon coming in. You know, I don't go live, so the link doesn't go out when you don't go live all that often. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how easy it is for you to solve the issue of ignorance when it comes to these actual historical issues. We are going to go to ChatGPT and type it out and show you how easy it is. And then we're going to watch a person for 12. So without further ado, what's going on Tyrone Malone 1? What's going on Bishop Digest? What's going on Ramil? What's going on Tampa 81333? All right. So the reason why we're doing this is because there's been a birthright citizenship question that has been handed down by the Supreme Court, which pretty much says he could do it in some cases, but he can't do it in other cases, which means they're overturning the Constitution. Okay? Trump is ruling by decree. There is no legislation that's going on here. That's how it works. You know how like the police kept expanding their power? The Fourth Amendment meant one thing, the Fifth Amendment meant another thing. So what would happen is the police would overstep their boundaries. Then they would challenge it. Then they would assert that they had such specialties. Then they would go to the Supreme Court to codify the things that they illegally done in the first place. You are correct, Ramil, but they kept expanding on the actual decision like they kept expanding on the actual Second Amendment. You are correct. But that doesn't mean that's where it stopped at. Just like the right to vote. It was meant for white men, and then they expanded the franchise to other groups of people. So you are correct, but they kept expanding the franchise, which is what they're supposed to do, because everybody don't start off with the same rights at the first beginning. It goes one way, and then they just keep expanding it for other groups of people, mostly disaffected people that was left behind. But you are correct in essence. So, how does a person who's clearly married to a woman from another country, why on earth would that person want to get rid of birthright citizenship when he's married to a foreign lady? Not a U.S. born woman. I don't think he's ever been interested in U.S. born women. But currently, he's with a woman that's clearly not from America. And yes, the challenging of birthright citizenship has been something that the conservative movement has always challenged in the courts. They've always challenged it. But they're okay with immigration as long as you're from Canada. The conservative movement is okay with immigration as long as you're from Nordic countries. The conservatives are okay with immigration as long as you're from Europe. The conservatives are not okay with immigration if you come from a Spanish speaking country like Haiti. Like Haitians don't get the same treatment when it comes to immigration when it comes to Canadians in the United States. Why? Conservatives believe in a tiered justice system. They've always believed in a tiered justice system. They've always believed that. Okay? So what we're going to do, I have ChatGPT on the screen here. What's going on to go? So what we're going to do here on the screen with ChatGPT is we're going to ask a very simple question. How many times, wait, hold on, let me make the screen bigger so that way you can see just how simple this is to solve. Okay, so what we're going to do is ask a simple question. How many times, how many Supreme Court decisions challenged birthright citizenship. And we're about to get an answer. All right. So now we have an answer. Go on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. All right. So now we have an answer. And I'm going to scroll down so that way you can see the answer. Hold on. Hold on. Let me take this down. Remove. Add to stage. No, remove. Presenter invite. Stop screen. Presenter invite. Share screen. All right. And here's our answer. Our answer right here is on the screen. We're going to put this here. We're going to make it bigger so that way you can see it. All right. The first case, which is the most important case. What's going on, Quentin Prince? Keith Smith. The most important case is the very first case. United States versus Wong Kim Ark. If you don't know, the game sounds pretty Chinese because it is. And in that case, the landmark decision, and still the controlling decision until yesterday, the court held that the 14th Amendment guarantees citizenship virtually to everyone born in the U.S. soil, regardless of parents, nationalities, with narrow exceptions like children of foreign diplomat or enemy occupation forces. Wong Kim Ark was born in San Francisco to Chinese nationals. He returned from a trip abroad. He was denied re-entry, and the case went to the Supreme Court. The court ruled 6-2. Pretty straightforward, correct?
That's correct.
Wouldn't you say that's pretty straightforward?
That is correct. Very straightforward.
I know, but the conservatives are the ones who actually represent these cases. Okay? It's pretty clear. 1898. Any person born in the United States can stay here. And you can see the guy was clearly a Chinese national. Okay? Not hard to understand. In every other case subsequent to that, conservatives kept wanting to get rid of birthright citizenship, or had the ability to limit birthright citizenship to whoever they wanted to challenge it for, which is what the Trump case was about. Because it wasn't about overturning it all the way. It was about selectively getting rid of birthright citizenship for some people and not others. So the case was pretty much here. Anyone born here gets to stay here. That includes people who are born on military installations overseas, embassies overseas. Same thing. Remember, this was never a question. But for some reason, the conservatives want to actually limit birthright citizenship to whoever they want to. Because like I said, conservatives believe in a tiered justice system. They don't really care about the law unless it applies to them. So if that's so clear, let's go to this situation right here in the Hill. So if it was so clear, how did this ended up happening? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, John McCain was born, I think, in Panama, wasn't it? He was born in Panama.
Yes,
And
he
they
was.
tried that stuff with him. So, you have to remember. So, how did this end up happening? U.S. Army soldier's son, born on Army base in Germany, is deported to Jamaica. If it was so clear, why did this person's son, born on U.S. property abroad, got deported to a country he has no identity to? How did that end up happening, Agon? If it was such straightforward.
Come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because remember, the case was pretty clear. Birthright citizenship is pretty clear. Trump is married to actual foreign women. What's going on here? Now, this is The Hill. This is not a left-wing newspaper by any stretch of the imagination. You had multitudes of Latino individuals who thought that, you know what, I'm just going to vote with power, and when they come for the bad immigrants, they're just going to go after certain people. They're not going to come after me. They're not going to come after me. Then all of a sudden, Trump got rid of legal status for people who was here. Got rid of it. Not through legislation. He just did it by decree through an executive order. And then he got the Supreme Court to back him up on it. Because right now, they're not legislating. They're just making up executive orders. And the Supreme Court is coming through and just giving him the right to do whatever it is that he wants to do. Now, with the recent Supreme Court decision, you don't even get to challenge Trump's ability to do anything. Like, there are actual things that happen. You have to let them go through. You have to file individual court proceedings in individual places in order for it to be stopped everywhere. That's not how court works. That's not how it works. Brown versus Board of Education. When they made that actual decision, that affected everybody in the United States when it came to that issue of desegregation. Loving versus Virginia, which got rid of interracial, the ban on interracial marriage. No, you can't go on, not yet. But in the Loving versus Virginia case, when they overturned that case, it affected everybody within the United States. Everyone. Are there good decisions? Yes. Are there bad decisions? Yes. But for the most part, you don't file these decisions in every individual area for it to apply everywhere. You apply the best decision in the best place. It gets overturned or goes through, and then it affects everybody in the country. Just like the Roe v. Wade. They didn't have to file Roe v. Wade in every single state in the United States, and people got to pick and choose where it actually happened and where it didn't.
I mean, we could look at quite a few acts that actually have come down throughout the history here in this country through some pretty significant acts. You know, we know the 14th Amendment of 1868. We have the Naturalization Act of 1870, Immigration Act of 1924, the Johnson-Reed Act, Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, the McCarran-Walter Act, Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. That's the Hart Celler Act. I mean, these acts have been enacted throughout history on that of behalf.
And it was just not meant for black people.
It was not.
It was meant for the circumstance. because more people were born in the United States under the circumstance than just slavery. Slavery is not where you stop the conversation. It's where it started. But there's other people who's born in the United States that were not slaves that this applies to. That's why this stuff had to keep being reintroduced so many times and it had to keep being affirmed by the Supreme Court. Because people kept thinking that, okay, we have a way we could just X out this person, like they did with the Chinese guy who started it all. Turns out he was born in China. It was reaffirmed then. All those other cases brought by conservatives, always by conservatives, always
That
by
is
conservatives.
that is a fact. That is a fact.
So, Ramil, it did start with black people, but black people were not the only people born on United States soil.
That's exactly correct.
That's not the only issue here. It was like, oh yeah, well, it just meant for black people. At that time, yes. That's what the
Yeah,
question was for, yes, at that time.
that's exactly correct. But then that expanded beyond, and that
That is
drifted.
correct. That is correct.
Yep.
Diplomats, it happened all the time with diplomats when they come here. Know that their wife is pregnant. Stay over here, stay in the embassy. All of a sudden, their child has dual citizenship. Yes, it does happen.
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
Dude, you just don't stop at just black people. Like, dude, other people are going to be born on United States soil and on United States territory.
Yeah, but folks are but but folks are fairly ignorant. They're fairly ignorant and all that.
I mean, they don't want to know that
Fairly
there's other laws that apply to everyone else outside of black people, but they only understand it when it is black people. And you can't have people with that point of view because you really destroy the conversation if that's where you want to draw the line at. Black people and then it stops. That's not how it works. It didn't work that way for voting. It didn't work that way for civil rights. It didn't. Why do you think we had to have a Civil Rights Act of 1965? Because the Civil Rights Act didn't apply to everybody, not equally. So they had to make a certain act then to actually cover the rest of the people. And didn't it start? No, it didn't stop there. And then the Supreme Court just started taking away parts of the civil rights legislation. The next thing you know, you have all this redlining and redistricting and all these other things that happen, right?
That's that's MOT. You're nailing it. You're right on the you're right on the money
No,
for
this
it.
stuff isn't that hard to get.
No, it isn't. And when you look at these other acts that I brought up, this is what has consistently been coming down the pike ever since 1865, really. And that's what we're looking at from 1868 straight up to this very day. That's where this has been. Now, those who are non-history folks and like I think it's Ramil and all these guys coming here saying stupid shit, that's normal. I expect that from those people. But at the end of the day, for those who are looking at the facts and watch exactly what is going on, you have to look at how this thing has evolved. And just wasn't for us. It was for
You know,
many other citizens.
Ramil, I do agree. They do not do that. They also don't have civil rights. They also don't have the right to drive for women. They have a whole bunch of shit. But that's why I don't live there or seek to go live there because of the way that they act.
That's correct.
No, they're not clearing it up. Like, as soon as these people get out of office, they're going to turn around because this is an actual executive order. They're going to overturn that.
They're
And
gonna
then things are
overturn
going to
that.
go back the way it usually does because this is an executive order. This is not a codified legislative legal opinion. This
Correct.
is, and I think that the conservative justices are setting up for the next liberal president to be extremely bullish on correcting all of these things to include getting that's what about Trump's wife, McConnell's wife, JD Vance's wife. We're talking about the president and the vice president here, right? We're not even going through the rest of the country. The president is married to a foreign woman. vice president married to a foreign woman? Do we just deport them too? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense for the party in charge to actually do this. It makes
Well,
no sense.
no, it doesn't. It's actually nonsense. But this appeals to a certain political.
Yes, it appeals to extremely narrow-minded black people are in, and we just draw the line there. That's not how it works.
Yep.
Also Chinese, by the way. So let's listen to this bed of ignorance. Now, I just showed you how quickly I just solved that entire issue. Now we're about to go to some lowly esteemed brothers who found themselves here within our space wanting to spread the premier ignorance that they spread. So hold on a second while I get this up. This is obviously BGS and this dumb nigga caucus that he have on. These men who don't know how to speak anywhere on the world. The only place where they can get anywhere to actually speak is with actual BGS, because they can't take these actual arguments anywhere outside of the BGS kind of 24-hour dumb nigga network. Because if they do, they'll get brutally actually reminded about actual history. So without further ado, this is the Black Brain Trust posted today. This is a low information voter, Exhibit R, probably for retard, but who knows. Let's get this thing underway. So now I just solved the entire issue. So now I'm about to play this bed of ignorance here.
Your thoughts on black folk actually crying that the Supreme Court decided the 14th Amendment should stand for what it originally stood for?
You know what? I look at these people, and
That's not what the 14th Amendment was about. That's not what this case was about at all. See, they want to draw an actual wall garden around black people and black people only, but there's other people that the actual thing expand for. That's what this is about. This is not about black people. Of course we know if you're black and you're born in this country, that's what the thing was actually done for. Because those conservatives wanted to kick your ass out the country as soon as your labor is done, the same way that they want to do with most Latinos. Don't you get the actual connection here? That they want to use these people for their labor and kick them out the country. Just like they wanted to do to you. But let's keep going here.
if you have to go to CNBC, CNN, and MSNBC to actually understand something, that you deserve what you get. Okay,
Thank you.
because it doesn't apply to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what he's trying to do? He's trying to get rid of the anchor babies. He's not trying to get rid of you. They can't deport you. Where are they going to deport you to?
Mm-hmm.
Trump's father, his father was named what? And what country did Trump's father come from?
Drumpf. Drumpf.
So why would a guy who has German parents want to get rid of birthright citizenship? What? And these people actually think that they're on the side of those people who are actually doing this. Like, no, they're trying to draw it narrowly enough so that way they can let in Canadians and actual people from Europe and have a pick and choose kind of facet of whether or not they want to do it for Spanish speaking people.
His mother was also born in Ireland.
Again, Ramil, you got to provide the protection to all people that you expect. That's what actual citizens of this country who participate in the process want to do. You have to provide the level of protection to other groups of people that you expect. But they're not talking about Spain. Spain is European. They're talking about Central American and South American. That's what they want to ban from coming over here. Not Europeans. Spain is pretty fair-skinned and yeah. So let's keep going here.
They're going to deport you to.
I guess.
To who?
Alabama.
Alabama. I mean, they can't deport you because you're a citizen. What are they going to do? Supreme Court. And no court in the land's going to stand for that. You can't deport this person. He's a citizen.
Again, the person who was born on the army base was deported to Jamaica, a country he had nothing to do with, even though he was a quote-unquote citizen. Now, what is missing from this actual argument and conversation is that Trump ended the legal status of people. Then, when they did their normal check-ins, like you're supposed to do, he started letting people know that you no longer have status. So these people had status before Trump was actually president. And now they don't have status. So now he created his own loophole to where he can now start kicking out all kinds of people from the country, even though he used the fact that, oh, we're just going after the actual criminals as the reason for doing it. No, they don't want any immigration at all, especially if you're black, Latino. You're correct. Like, Imam Perry, you're correct. I don't hear any of these people who want this blacks only protection talk about the white Afrikaners that they just brought over here. I don't even hear them even saying anything about that. Do you? I don't hear anybody saying anything about that.
He brought them in. While he's got his goons out there running around, jumping out of unmarked vehicles, diving on the back,
Yes.
diving on the
Locking up people.
Knocking people out, locking them up, doing all kind of madness. They bring these white South Africans in. Just put them in here. Insane. Totally hypocritical. That makes no sense to what this guy is trying to do. This is what he did.
Yeah.
What he did. He said so Real said he brought in over 60 Afrikaners, but that opens the door for him to bring in a lot more.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. The whole point is that if you believe in the immigration piece, then you shouldn't be making any exceptions for whites or any other race. You shouldn't be. I mean, if that's what you actually believe, you shouldn't be making any exceptions. But they're doing everything else to go after every other people but the actual criminals.
That's exactly correct. And like
a lot of these people had legal status, legal right to vote, voted for Trump, lost their legal status after they voted for Trump.
And got thrown out. You see all
and deported.
And you see all these these videos out here. I will vote for Donald Trump. People laughing and all that, thinking it's funny. But at the same time, utilizing American tax dollars, like Michael said here, in conservative states, FHA loans and stuff like that you're not getting, and bought these South Africans up in here. These South African white folks. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, and it makes these conservatives and the rest of these guys look crazy saying what they're saying. Yeah, y'all look crazy talking about shit. Y'all look crazy, bro. Y'all look crazy.
Yeah, what's going on, Quiz the Prince? All right, well, while he's queuing up here, let's keep going. Yeah, we're going to stop it at certain points to make certain points. Even though there's a lot of misinformation here, you have to stop it at certain points so that way you can be able to correct the record. But let's keep going.
Yeah. You can, I mean,
did y'all think Trump is really that stupid? He's not that stupid, okay? You don't get to be a billionaire being stupid.
No.
What? Listen to this plan.
He's impulsive, but not stupid.
The thing is, it was a very, very narrow decision by the Supreme Court. Very narrow, okay?
Yeah.
And most people don't understand. It was to keep judges, federal judges from actually, their injunctions were actually applying to the whole country.
All right. So that's the other Supreme Court decision that's separate from the actual immigration decision. No, what Trump actually stopped doing was he had the Supreme Court stop people from challenging his decrees by executive order, by letting them fly through. Rather than the Supreme Court have to look stupid by actually telling people where the guardrails are, they completely removed the guardrails in one Supreme Court decision at all that told people that you can't stop the things from going through, which that's why you have a court system, and that's why you have cases for and against, and they present arguments. Their arguments are not even good enough to where they don't even want you presenting your argument now. They just want the things to go through, which means they never believed in any of this stuff in the first place. They never believed it. Let's keep going.
Okay, so it doesn't just apply to this particular case, which is birthright citizenship. That still hasn't been determined. They haven't determined that at all. Okay, The thing is,
Mhm.
federal judges can't put an injunction over what they're doing. Okay,
Mhm.
you want to take the whole thing to the Supreme Court, you got to build the whole case to the.
They always put an injunction on things. Doge. First, it didn't have access. Then they did have access. Those were injunctions. They applied to the whole country until they went up to another Trump-related judge, and then all of a sudden it went through.
The Supreme Court, and not a judge.
Mhm.
Okay, a federal judge can't do it and apply to everybody. It's a very, very narrow decision. But most people, I hear black people crying, "Oh, they're gonna come for us next." Where they gonna send? Where they gonna send you to?
send you to?
Where they gonna send you?
It's not about that. It's about people having legal status. They all of a sudden don't have legal status when they had it before, and now you have to alter the Constitution post hoc to actually come through here. Yeah, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here? Okay. What's the dude from Apple? Him. What? He couldn't be here either? He was born to immigrants?
Elon
Steve
Musk,
Jobs.
Elon Musk is actually at this stage an illegal alien. He overstayed his.
Yes, he is. Who has government contracts?
Government contracts, get all kind of federal dollars, and you got people here talking about it. They're not coming after. No, what you Negroes don't want to understand is that these guys want this immigration thing to bring in more whites and to get rid of blacks.
Yes.
Latinos.
They want to be able to pick and choose. That's why they want to be able to draw it narrowly.
That's what they want. But the Negroes will run here, literally kissing the ass of these white folks. Dumb as you Negroes are, don't understand.
Say it again.
They don't want you. They don't want you.
Melania came under an H1, and this is what this dude's trying to do. Unbelievable.
Exactly
Unbelievable.
Look at that.
But these are the people trying to get rid
I'm
of
trying to
birthright
figure out what is
citizenship.
Melania.
Go ahead, man.
I'm trying to figure out what is Melania exceptional at, because the visa she came in under, you have to be exceptional, like a genius or something, provide something to the country, like the Germans did, Operation Paperclip after World War II. They got their citizenship, but what did she provide for the country under her visa? I mean, there's certain types of visas.
Yeah, DNA for sons and daughters, apparently. So let's keep going here.
Michael, I'm sorry. I can't believe that we are asking the question.
Okay, so now you have people who pick sides, Republicans and Democrats on the panel having a conversation, not these undeclared, undocumented dudes who have opinions. But let's keep going.
It's the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Constitutional. It is crazy. And I am sorry, but people need to call. This is crazy. They're asking us not to believe our own eyes and our own ears. They're asking us to go against everything that we know to be true. This is insane. Michael.
But see, the problem is what these idiots do is they play black women on screen, and then they turn around and try to make some type of point against what they're actually talking about. Yeah, pick a side. No, dude, I tell you right now, no one picking a conservative side. Them white farmers in Texas are feeling like those black farmers in Mississippi and Virginia and Tennessee right now because they made the wrong choice over their whole entire lifetime. But they're just now realizing in-stage conservatism only need three groups of people. They need the billionaire beneficiaries who funded this operation in the first place. They need the political people who ignore history. And finally, they need their propagandists who will pay millions of dollars a year to sell out the American people in whole. And they literally don't need anybody else. They literally don't need anybody else at this point.
Shut your ass down. I mean, if anything's gonna talk about this,
Trump did not say that. That's not what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black ass down.
He said his interpretation was actually meant for slaves coming out of slavery.
Yeah, you know what that interpretation means? We're denying everybody else citizenship after that. which means your father would have been denied citizenship after that, Trump, which means your wife would have been denied the opportunity to marry you under that, which means J.D. Vance's wife would not be able to be married to him under that interpretation.
And that would have applied directly to Trump's mother as well.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes. What's going on, Cedric Webb? Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Yes, but this is what we're talking about, where the people who benefited from that are trying to get rid of that so that way they could pick and choose who they want to be citizens when the only thing they want to do is get rid of Spanish speakers and bring over the more Nordic people. That's all it is. It's not even that hard.
And they said this.
Rafael Ted Cruz as well. Marco Rubio as well. I mean, what's going on here? You got conservatives are trying to get rid of something that most people who are serving in Congress, their parents benefited from. And they're trying to make it seem like they're trying to actually protect black people? Get out. Oh, come on. Come on, Ramil. Come on, bro. Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley. Like, what? All these people are Republicans. They're trying to get rid of birthright citizenship because they're trying to protect black people? Are you serious?
It's insane, man. But they don't have an argument. They don't have an argument.
No. I'm answering all your questions. I just don't want you to derail the conversation by coming up and asking a whole bunch of day one questions, man. That's all I'm trying to prevent. No, it's not about trolling. Hey, look, I think all your questions are perfectly legitimate, by the way, and I'm never not going to answer your questions.
Yes. Meant for, right? Now they interpreted it as something else. What's saying is, okay, I think the case was 1908. I think it was a Chinese citizen. Okay.
Okay, it was 1898, and in that Chinese citizen's case, they upheld and affirmed it because he was born in San Francisco. He traveled abroad. He tried to come back. They denied him coming back into the country only because he was Chinese. And they wanted to start drawing a narrower ring around the 14th Amendment starting at that point. But the Supreme Court started at that point by just saying, look, no, he was born here. He's a citizen here.
That is correct.
That's what I'm saying. And they're going to say, turn up your mic. They can barely hear you. I'm not sure if you can control that.
And to throw something extra in, I was talking to I went walking this morning, seeing my old high school social studies and civics teachers, heavy on the civics, and he was the one that told me about the injunctions. That's the main thing. All that other stuff is kind of like it's hogwash about the birthright. It's the injunctions on stopping every executive order he do. They trying to stop every injunction these federal judges put in. That's all this. He said this is all this about. Everything he come up with, we're gonna put it. Federal judge put in an injunction. We're gonna shoot up to the Supreme Court where they be all the conservative. Well, not all of them. Some of them be talking to Trump behind the scenes, and they come up with something to just stop the injunction so he can do what he wants to. That's all it boiled down to. That birthright citizenship. We shouldn't even be talking about that. We should be the main concern should be the injunction of him doing what he want to, when he want to, and how he want to. That's all it boiled down to.
Correct. And these are executive orders we're talking about here. We're not talking about laws. We're talking about executive orders. So it's like, okay, this same Supreme Court is going to be in place for the next 25 years. So you mean to tell me that whenever the Democrats get in charge and they try to abuse power the same exact way, the conservatives can just all of a sudden grow a spine all of a sudden? Because that's what they're setting up to happen. Okay, we're going to okay it when it's Trump or a conservative, but we're not going to say we're going to say that it's bad or that it's overreach when it's a Democrat. It's either you have the ability to do it or you don't.
Oh, the injunction is going to be free whenever it's a Democrat in office now. They're going to hand out. I mean, that's the political game that people don't realize to be played.
But the bigger picture is when you get a Democrat that gets in the office the next time around, he's going to erase all of this. How are you going to stop that?
Yeah, I mean, all the executive orders. That's not law. Congress is the only people that can pass a law.
And this country is a nation of immigrants. That's what we are.
Yes.
That's what we are. Unique. Oh, we're like other countries. A lot of other countries are not like America. America is a nation of immigrants. That's what we are.
Even
A
though
lot of
we had
countries
a lot
don't even
cheap-
allow you to serve in a military if you're not born in a country. America totally allows
that-
people to join our
That is
military
correct.
from wherever, even in war zones.
That is correct.
All right, let's keep going here.
Yeah.
He was born in San Francisco. He left. He came back, and they wanted to make it. They didn't want to allow him into the country by saying I'm a citizen. So it went to the Supreme Court. That's where the birthright citizenship got expanded into what it is now. The thing is,
Yeah, just so it's
what you have is what they call anchor babies, right? We have Chinese, Japanese, whatever, flying into the country that are like 7, 8 months pregnant, right? Having a baby here, getting the birth certificate, social security number, and flying back out.
Yeah.
To establish the anchor baby. That's what they're questioning right now. The thing is that hasn't been settled yet.
It was settled law until it was unsettled, dude. It's been settled law. Why do you think we're bringing it up in 2025 if it's not settled law?
And look at the case, and look at all the cases that have supported that. I mean, it's just all the rulings that I brought up earlier. It's just like, some of this idiocy. It's too much. Some of this, it's too much, man. Too much misinformation, too much lack of information. That's the real problem here. And this guy's trying to run his game, but which is working for right now, but it's built on a shaky deck of cards. So we have to look at that. But there is a lot of legislation that has come down, that has been passed, that shuts a lot of this stuff down here. And I know a lot of people don't know about it, but that's where we are. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Inquisitive Prince.
I was just gonna say is the key words you use is working for right now, because I'm still waiting. It's been a whole bunch of people. A bunch of things is being said and being done. That Trump is like not starting no wars. They were heavy on Trump. As long as he don't start no war, I'm waiting for the next domino to fall. I'm keeping little tabs. Like, damn,
Yeah, but how many dominoes are left, Inquisitive Prince? He was supposed to fix the Iran. The actual. He was supposed to fix the actual Russia-Ukraine thing overnight. He was supposed to lower the actual prices of actual groceries. That thing failed. He didn't seem to understand tariffs and putting all these tariffs on all these people, which has cost 500,000 jobs and counting as of right now. Allowing Israel to, while a peace negotiation is coming on, to bomb an actual country that they actually are entering an actual agreement with, and then threatening to treat them like Lebanon, that they've been consistently bombing for a while. It's like, dude, listen, come on, man. At the end of the day, none of this stuff is settled because conservatives have a completely different telling of how they want history to go down, and they don't care, and they're not your friends, and they're not going to side with you. At the end of the day, they're here for tax cuts and paying their people millions of dollars to get their point of view across. They don't care about and not paying taxes at all, period.
And that's essentially what they're about. And ultimately, at the end of the day as well, tearing down any of the real advances that were made in the labor and civil rights movement over the last 80 to 90 years. That's really their job.
That many of these conservatives they benefit off of.
Also use. They also use those programs.
And they use them like crazy. So what they're trying to do is set up not a neo-fascist, but a neo-feudal state. Once again, we're going back to the late 17th, 18th centuries. This is where these guys are trying. Really trying to push this thing back to it's insane.
Okay. They swept down these terrorists work. They swept down the terrorists that work.
But I'll say this real quick, and I don't want to veer off. But that's why you see people, that's why you see stuff that's happening in New York City that you're going to see in some other places going on politically that are going to shock the hell out of a lot of people because people starting to see through some of this. But anyway,
that's right.
MOT, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to go off on a tangent here.
Oh, actually, Ramil, I'm glad you did ask that question. We can use Tamir Rice and actual John Crawford's ability to open carry in Ohio and not be shot on sight by the police.
Yeah. And people will say, and
2 examples in the same state, by the way.
and people say, yeah, Tamir Rice got what he deserved. You're in an open carry state. You're in an open carry state. I mean, I pretty much lost a friendship over that with some guy from Ohio who was a very ignorant person at the end of the day. Thought it was okay to blow this black kid away. He's a black man. But thought it was okay to blow this black kid away because he had a gun. He was pointing a gun. I was like, you have a gun too. You walk around and you leave. When you walk out of your
Philando
house.
Castile telling him that he had a gun and was still shot.
So I was telling his brother, if you walk out of your house and they blow you away, should I say it's okay? You should have been shot because you had a gun. Because you carry a gun. You're an open carry state. How do you even support this? I mean, it's crazy. The niggerisms, the nigger stuff that I hear from these Negroes. It's too much. You guys got to go, man. Time is gonna summon on you on y'all.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so this is a case that I'm personally involved in that I never let nobody know that I was involved in. But Breonna Taylor, my brother, is with the actual mother of the son who actually was in the same house. And he was living with my brother at the time. And he was the one paying rent on that actual house when that happened. Breonna Taylor, that situation. Okay? This whole no-knock warrant, we at the wrong place, we just gonna bust in here and shoot people and all that kind of other stuff. Yeah. Yeah, those are civil rights you have to fight for.
Yeah,
you have to fight for that.
Behind the lie. They lied to the judge about what was going on.
Yes, totally lied to the judge.
And he says police misconduct. Boy, there's been a lot of police misconduct coming down on black folks for
Forever.
Centuries. Forever. Since the inception of it here. Ridiculous argument. But these are the Negroes I'm talking about. These Negroes out here trying to support this.
Well, Ramil, you are right. Before they had complete immunity, they're just now being held responsible for what they do, and it's only in no-knock or wrong house raids, not everything else. Only wrong home raids. Whenever the police do something in any other case, they're not held responsible. But they are right now. That just happened this year, by the way. Otherwise, they could just come through and just break up your stuff, and they've always fought for that right. Like the conservatives always give the police in the administrative state broad-ranging powers on doing what they want to do against the people who they want it to be done against.
Yeah. Yep.
But I wanted to holler at you later on to go on about the election in New York City. I know you from up there.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead on MOT. This is interesting right here.
No, but Ramil, but under those statutes, like the state has to bring those charges, and the states are not going to bring charges against those officers. I mean, you know how many times like the Texas Rangers have blown people away? No investigation. What other investigative body is going to investigate?
They did bring charges up in Breonna Taylor, but the state attorney that Cameron Daniel whatever Cameron grand jury he pretty much blew it. He wasn't trying to bring them up on charges.
They know how to bring charges, and they know how to present evidence to where stuff isn't going to be charged. Like that's the whole reason why they have the grand jury process in the first place, to allow the prosecution and the prosecution only to actually present whatever type of case that they want to people who they've been paying and feeding for months. Like they know whether or not they want a case to get indicted or not. They're not dumb.
And if they really want to indict somebody, they bring a grand jury against them.
Oh, of course they do.
And then try to put together a jury and so forth of which to convict. Like I said, you could indict a ham sandwich with these grand juries, and everyone pretty much understands that. But anyway,
Mickey Mouse on RICO charges.
Yeah.
I mean, but they probably could get that mouse on RICO charges at this point. But let's keep going.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what you're screaming about. You understand the 14th Amendment. Okay, the thing is, you're showing your stupidity by doing that kind of stuff. You guys are supposed
But see, they're drawing a thin line around the 14th Amendment to stop it at black people, to give people this false sense of black pride that you're not about to give my rights away to other people. It's not how it fucking works. If you want protection, you have to provide protection for every other person in that circumstance, just not your circumstance. And I have to tell people, whenever black people exhibit that level of stupidity, remove them from the conversation. If they don't have that basic understanding of how the United States work, remove them from the conversation. You're talking to somebody who wants the rights to stop at them, then they don't want to protect anybody else, but they expect protection from everyone else. You got to remove those people from the conversation. They're not even United States citizens. They have this type of undocumented immigrant type nonsensical problem. But let's keep going.
to be expert at this stuff.
Well, this is not about expertise. This is about ratings and stirring up shit.
Okay.
That's how they make their money.
Supposed to be just being the operative phrase.
What the thing is, what she's spreading is propaganda. Okay, she's lying, and they'll let.
She's not lying. She's just saying what the 14th Amendment has been. There's already been Supreme Court cases that codified it. Why are we talking about this in 2025? That isn't propaganda. Propaganda is what you're actually doing. He's talking to a bunch of dumb niggas on the panel who don't fucking know anything, but bunch of BGS yups. You know, niggas that just don't know a fucking thing about anything on the planet. I'm sorry. Let's just keep playing this. Let's keep playing.
Letting her lie. Nobody's challenging what she's saying.
And Michael Steele just got to sit there and just look at her like,
He knows she's
bitch, you
lying.
know you are.
Yeah, but I'm gonna cash this check though.
I mean, he's looking at them like, shit, the RNC never get put this much money in my pocket.
I don't know why. I'm a layperson. I don't know why I have to come on and explain it to people. Okay. All you have to do is read the decision and listen to the experts. They tell you what it means. It's not that hard. And these are experts spreading falsehoods. That's how come CNN and MSNBC losing ratings. They're lying too much. Okay?
They're not lying. They just told you what happened. What part about it that she's lying about? The 14th Amendment. What part of it?
Lying. Come on now.
And they continue to drop.
Oh, by the way, shout out to CNN. They made the bright decision to bring on Joy Reid as a contributor. Lord.
I mean, if she can draw, really, well, it's entertainment now. It's not even news anymore. Okay. If she brings in eyeballs, okay. I mean, she brings in eyeballs. It brings them in money. Whole things about how to bring in money. Nobody cares about the freaking truths.
No, it's all entertainment now.
Except there's one little pocket called the Black Manosphere, and half of that don't care about.
Right.
Yeah. In fact,
I'm sick of these people.
Oh no! It's you and your crew who don't care about truth. You're the one who has to answer to these dumb niggas. Like you have to do that. Trust me, you have to do that.
Unreal.
Yeah. Master teacher, to prove your point. There's a quote.
The master teacher to prove your point.
Credit to the Mark Twain that I've mentioned time and time again, and that is, if there was money in the truth, people would be speaking it more often. There's no money in. That's why people. Yes.
Well, you know.
I know. Look at the dumb niggas that are up there. You think these men are independently able to answer any questions or field any conversations without pretending to be a yup behind this dude? No. That's why they up there. This is the only place in the world where dumb niggas get to talk without being burdened by reality.
I mean, you're African, you know.
Now, this next one, yes, I am taking shots. Really, this is their own damn fault. This comes from the Butthurt Brain Trust.
No.
And they claim this is low information, but I'll let you listen to Ed for yourself. This sounds like low information to you.
So I'll start off with the problem. So basically, I was in the Codebreakers. I was in the Codebreakers video. They were doing an update on some of the stuff that they said.
Hey, dude, are you trying to get us to listen to what's going on? AB Media, what's going on, man?
It does talk fast.
Now, hold on a second. In defense to Ed, man, it may sound like that when you're listening to him, but he definitely don't sound like that out the gate, man. Come on, bro.
Paradox with DCI. It sounds like Paradox. He was running on the channel. So this is not to them. But I was in the chat. For a hot second, and two people going back and forth. You know who you are. And one of them said that you voted for this fool. And then somebody said our president shouldn't be disrespected. The other
I think that's you who said you voted for this fool. I think that's you.
Yeah.
Name because you know. Ed would use your name. Who knows, man? You may blow up to 100,000 subscribers. It would actually said your name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
The other person said that better people have been disrespected than better people have been disrespected than Trump. Which I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't necessarily disagree with that. So I basically made a comment though saying that Trump, it was still the better choice than Trump. And then somebody wanted to make a slick ass comment saying I full well expect for you to say that. So that's where we're at. And this wasn't DC or Paradise, what it is. So my thing is, so that's the premise of it. The other part of it is, so I started here. I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016.
This was no slick ass comment. I told him directly.
The best president. I focus on who I think is going to do more for black people, but I also focus on who's going to be the best president first. And at the time, Hillary was in my.
Let's stop right here.
Low information folder. Exhibit A.
Man, bro.
Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Anyway. Whew, boy. Anyway, go ahead.
That's what I'm thinking, man. Every time I hear these people talk, this is what I think. That's what I see, man. Like every time I hear this shit, man, I can't believe that they let these snitches run their mouth. They let them run their mouth, and it's like they don't even care. They don't even care that they sound like. They don't even care. They don't even care. Hey man, let me get my stuff off, man. That's what I hear. Every time. Every time. Let me get my stuff off and let me pass the mic.
Man.
That's all he can attract. This is all BGS can attract is these underserved, completely ignored. I'm just glad they're not out here procreating. But let's keep going.
And that kind of was borne out, right? But this wasn't Trump versus Biden, this was Trump versus Kamala. Kamala is not qualified to be Attorney General. Kamala is not qualified to be Vice President, and she's fucking not qualified to be President. She's not qualified to be Governor of California. Just so we're fucking clear. Anybody that thinks that Kamala was a better choice than Trump, a 4-year Trump that did 4 years already, is a fucking idiot. Now,
hold on a second. You mean to tell me that in 5 months, President Kamala Harris, if she was ever elected, would have tanked the economy? Would have let Israel go ham and bomb Iran? What?
And would have sat down here and would have brought in these executive orders to really hurt and shut people down, and attempted right now to eliminate some of the social, some of our safety nets that we have out here.
Would have came up with a Doge committee. Kamala Harris would have came up with a Doge committee out the gate to start getting rid of federal agencies and selling their real estate from under where they used to be working at. All this to remain ignorant.
People in the military.
Yeah.
And they're going after veterans like crazy as well. I mean,
yeah.
Man. Veterans, farmers, and stuff. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on. But these people here don't look at this. That's why when the Brain Trust, Rafi, dropped low information voters and really talks about that. So that's a very serious issue. Very serious issue, man. People.
Exhibit R for card. Exhibit R. Everything should be Exhibit R.1. R.2. I mean, but at the end of the day, they can't go anywhere to discuss any of this. They're locked down into this misinformation space that they created.
Yeah.
I mean, because all these people are nothing but BGS dummies just shuffle around from one actual Chitlin circuit to the next. I mean, it's the same parking lot. It's kind of like there's like 20 people at an event, and they all sitting in one.
Hey, MOT, sounds like you cut out.
It truly isn't that many people. But let's keep going. It does feel like we've been here forever because we have to keep stopping it because so much grandiose, dumbass shit has been said. But we're going to try to keep it going.
We can talk about what you want to happen, but I'm talking about who's actually qualified. Kamala's not qualified. She's not. And I'm not gonna get all hella disrespectful. I'm not gonna be petty. I'm gonna be dead ass serious. She's not. Kamala would not have been. You wouldn't know who the fuck was running the White House if Kamala would have been in there. She was pretty much a top of a committee. That's what that was.
And you know who the fuck's running the White House right now? You know who's running the White House right now? Nobody thinks Trump is doing all this shit. Everybody thinks that Steve Bannon or all these other people are doing this shit. No one thinks Trump is actually personally out here doing this. He's taking credit for it, but he's not actually out here doing all this stuff. Let's keep going.
And that's what they were doing. And so this idea, and real talk, I was going to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. endorsed Trump. Now, that doesn't in and of itself mean I was going to vote for Trump. But given a lot of stuff, what Trump actually...
I think that's what...
Okay. What state did Robert F. Kennedy actually come close to winning? What state? He was not a factor anywhere. And just like the actual Itmore here, they always pick these people that don't have a consistent side pick or the wrong side picked. I know he's a Kennedy, but at the end of the day, that guy don't need to be running HHS, man. He just don't need to be.
His own family members, his own cousins came out against him and said this guy was unfit for that job. Unfit.
Brainworms, dude staging bear murders in the park. Bro.
Yeah.
Would have suck any Democrat's nomination, man. But when you're a conservative, you know, nothing really matters.
I think that's the reason they did this video, because for some odd reason they really hate RFK for some odd reason.
I don't know why. I wish I didn't.
Because if he can get through that, then he convinced me that he could probably do it on top of. I thought it was a pretty good chance, and I was right.
RFK is just unqualified. We don't like unqualified, like we don't like you. We don't like him either for the same fucking reason. It's not different. I swear to you, it's the same. It's not different. We just don't like unqualified, stupid motherfuckers talking or wanting to be in charge of shit. That's all it is. I promise you, it's not different. It's fucking the same. God.
If Robert F. Kennedy would be happy. Another thing too is a lot of the arguments that we were having back and forth, whether it's BTS or whoever, was really not necessarily should have win. It was who's gonna win. That's where a lot of, so that's not always the same thing. Even though to most people that's a distinction without a difference. And people were wrong. They thought Kamala was gonna win, and they were dead ass fucking. Not only were they wrong, they were wrong about what was gonna happen, why it was.
No. We predicted that she was supposed to win. We didn't predict that the working class whites and the Latinos and the women would turn around and stab America in the back. No one predicted that.
Hey,
There's a difference between making a prediction and being wrong and hoping somebody win. Like, those people didn't make no prediction. They just hoped Trump won. They didn't say what he was going to do good. They didn't say what he was going to do bad. They did not say what he was going to change. They did not say what he was going to make better. Anybody who come out with that Trump shit post hoc know that dogs and cat comment would have got you kicked out of most CEOs' buildings in this country if your ass was interviewing for a fucking job. Everybody knows that. I cannot imagine going into a meeting with generals and talking about they eating the dogs, they eating the cats, without the motherfuckers radioing for security and get me the fuck out of there.
Unreal.
I remember when I went on the call break, I said it was going to be very close to a Reagan-esque victory. It wasn't exactly a Reagan-esque victory. It wasn't, but it was like I said, very close. I went on there and I declared that shit. I am not an expert. I don't claim to be. I'm just a nigga with an opinion that happens to be a thinker. And the reality.
A nigga with an opinion. Thank you.
Indeed. And
Thank
Reagan,
you, Ed. Thank you, Ed.
And I will say a Reagan-esque victory. Reagan-esque.
Dude.
Unbelievable. And anyway, go ahead.
Dude, Reagan never fuck with y'all like that. He never did.
And his numbers are far different.
Way before, I said this early, like right before, either right after or right before the fucking convention. So also, so I know a little bit of what I'm talking about, and what I've observed completely outside of like BTS. And at the end of the day, you got motherfuckers that don't like Trump. I don't give a fuck about what you don't like. The reality is, I can tell you like I told everybody else, they always get fucking bleeds over Trump. Trump won because of the fucking Democrats.
Yeah,
that's why Trump won. Trump won because the Democrats failed to procure a worthy candidate. And if y'all don't,
and Trump was a worthy candidate, though. If we look at the outcomes and the poll numbers and the outcomes, I don't think any president has had this level of outcomes since they got elected. Okay? I don't think that that's ever happened. All right? And they keep trying to put it like, oh, the Democrats are the reason why. Like, no, rural America is the reason why Trump won. They believed in a loud, angry, ignorant, unqualified dude over a fucking woman. And they are paying the price for it. And I don't suggest trying to help these people the fuck out of it. They need this dose of reality. They need it every generation or two. That these conservatives don't give a damn about you or what you think about these people. Your ass is with those people, whether you believe it or not. When they come in to cut health care, they didn't come in to cut Democrats' health care only. They wanted to get rid of the concept. They didn't care.
Yeah,
and how quickly they changed their mind. You see what happened in the Omaha, Nebraska election? They immediately switched over to a progressive candidate.
Yeah, of course they did.
We won't.
Yeah.
Incumbent mayor who had been there for years. No, sir, we don't want none of this. We were selling wolf tickets.
But at the end of the day, they're only going to learn the lesson for a slight period of time. They're going to get this moderate Republican in there that's going to sound nice and do the same stuff all over again. I don't care. Let them suffer.
Yeah, well, and like I said, a lot of people did not come out in that.
A lot of them didn't.
A lot of them, looking at about 7-8 million didn't come out. So that was a big factor. You had to look at that as well. But anyway, go ahead.
Shut the fuck up crying over Trump. And when I say y'all, particularly this person in the chat, like I said, I ain't none of these things said. I want to be clear on that. Then you're gonna have fucking JD Vance in there. In 12 years. Yep. So you got people in there basically crying, like talking about a fool and all this other shit. At the end of the day, there's two choices. We had two choices to choose from. Trump was the better choice.
What do you base that off of, dude? We got results in 5 months. What are you talking about? Dude, I would give Edward $1,000 an hour if he could sit here in front of me and attempt to pretend that he could tell me how Trump is a better candidate than Kamala. I have $1,000 for you, Edward. $1,000 US. I want to hear this shit. Unabashed. I want you to talk as fast or as slow as you want to. I want to fucking hear it. I want to hear this shit. I mean, could these people really stop short of providing evidence or clues or facts for their actual opinions? But they have opinions, though. That's something that I want to hear. I want to hear that.
You certainly won't.
No, of course not. They put themselves below the actual, below the radar and keep it, quite underground, quite ignorant, so that way dumb motherfuckers can be a part of the conversation. I don't care about having these people be part of the conversation. Sometimes, man, you're just too stupid to know what the fuck's going on, and you lack the actual ability to know what's happening. So you have to sit there and shut the fuck up. Permanently.
Am I saying Trump is the most qualified person to be president? Hell no. But these are the choices that were presented. And the Democrats are a big part of why that is. The Democrat, Biden said he was going to run for 4 fucking years. Look, BD, I get the geopolitical thing BJ's talking about. I don't give a damn about that. The reality is Biden lied in the gate. Biden lied and he picked somebody who wasn't qualified.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Okay, so what made JD Vance qualified to be vice president, Nicole?
My whole question was
what made JD Vance qualified to be vice president? What made JD Vance qualified to be vice president? And he said that JD Vance is going to take over after Trump. So I guess we ask the question now, what made JD Vance the junior senator from Ohio, just like Obama was the junior senator from Illinois? What makes JD Vance qualified to be president?
Yeah. And what disqualified Kamala over Trump or whatever else?
Never said what it was. What made Trump qualified to be president in the first place? No public service, no legislative experience, doesn't give a damn about doing anything except for grifting people out of money, and he became president of the United States. But a person who spent their entire life in public service is not qualified to be in public service.
So if you ask him what makes him qualified, he couldn't tell you. He couldn't tell you. Except she's a black female. or perceived to be a black female.
Ding, ding, ding.
Maybe.
That's what it is. Black female, she's not qualified. She can't talk.
That's
she can't
it.
be on TV. She can't have a show. She can't have anything unless she had me on her couch. That's when she become qualified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's keep going through the rest of this. God, it seemed like it's been so long this went by.
My bad. I voted for RFK Jr. and the moves that Trump are making me feel more justified, but Kamala would have held this. Exactly. And so I get tired. I mean, y'all the fucking reason. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Y'all are a big fucking reason why. Like if you don't hold, people say, well, you're supposed to vote Republican. No. What you should do is primary the Democrats. The Democrats need to go through a Tea Party situation. The Democrats need.
At what point in this conversation have we ever talked about the Republican Party, Nicole? About what the Republican Party need to do? Like, have we talked about that? I mean, have we even knocked on that at all?
That's blasphemy right there. What they supposed to do? No. Everybody
else has to do shit, but not the Republican Party. We live in a two-party system, system, but there's only one side that has to do everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, independent. I mean, what?
You know, we've been talking about this for so long. The Brain Trust has talked about this for so long.
Yes.
We're going through this. You know, we've been going through this for such a long while. But this is what you still consistently get. And then when you criticize them and hit them on that side, what are you talking about? We're not supposed to do it. You know, then they come up with the most ridiculous statements and try to scream you down if they can. So
But at the end of the day, we know Black Republicans and conservatives are not part of the Trump administration.
They're
so
not
if you don't get anything when it comes to faces, how are you supposed to get anything legislatively? And you just can't put conservatives in charge and be like, well, the Democrats better give us more. No. If you don't show up, then you don't get shit. That's what happens.
Yeah,
you don't participate, you don't get stuff.
That's exactly correct. And where are all your people with the what is it, the reparations argument and all that? Oh, the FBA.
Yeah, you know, the failed Black Americans who actually think that, you know, the FBAs, you know, the failed Black Americans who actually think that you're going to get stuff by complaining about it and not engaging in the political process that provides it. Knowing full well there's not a system. There's not a system that provides that based off of complaints and not action.
No.
That's why I want to holler at you about going about that New York election.
Oh well, you know, we don't want to get into that now, but let me tell you, only thing I want to say is what went down was seismic, and I'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
And I suggest that people participate in the process, because if you don't, you're gonna get excluded.
Yeah, and that's what Cuomo got pissed off about people not buying this third way Democrat corporate bullshit. And people voted against it, like they always should have voted against it right after Citizens United. They knew these people were going to come in here en masse and sabotage everything. Your cinemas, your actual Liebermans, your actual the guy from West Virginia.
Manchin.
Yeah, Manchin. Those type of people. And dude, these people just ain't got no room within the party. But at the end of the day, most of these IBMs, ignorant Black Americans, IBMs, these ignorant Black men who think that by pretending that they're on the other side is going to make the Democrats fight harder for you. Like, no, they're just going to give the voice to people who show up and donate their actual time. I don't even fight for bigger Black voices or none of that shit. I fight for shit for working class people. That covers the people who I'm on the side of. I'm not on the side of these relationship grifters and these pretend to be as political dudes. They're not they're not a legitimate part of the process. They're not even a legitimate part of the process where they at in their own state.
That's exactly right.
Leave their ass outside. Start asking them about history, and if they don't know, kick them the fuck out of there. You have my seal of approval.
We can be bucked the fuck down and rebuilt, because the Democratic Party is captured. They're captured by, special interests, and special interests more than normal. And the reality is, there's a real conversation we had with that. But what pisses me, anybody saying Westmore.
But what about the Republican Party? There's a party who voted for Citizens United. There's a party who voted for Citizens United, right? So the only party
Any standards get held to is.
No, it's only one party. MOT there? Or he dropped off?
No, I'm still here. Sorry, storm coming through. All right, so let's get through this. Hold on, let me.
Or the governor of Maryland would be okay. You're a fucking idiot. All the Republicans have to do is run that motherfucker and say he's not FBA.
So Republicans are gonna run an ad saying that Westmore is not FBA. So that way Westmore isn't going to be or can be a candidate for Democrats. Again, we're not talking about what black Republicans need to bring to the table, are we? We're not talking about that, are we, Nicole?
Not at all. Because, black Republicans, these guys, they don't bring anything to the table. In fact, they're not even going to be significant. They're not going to be significant even in this next election. They're not significant. They bring nothing to the table. Only thing they are is just avatars for the gray boys, and that's really just about it. I mean, they bring nothing to the game. They bring nothing in, nothing.
Are real. But Westmore can be shown that he's not FBA. I'm telling you, you gotta leave this FBA 80 shit the fuck alone. It is for people who's not part of the process who want to pretend like they are. It's for stupid motherfuckers.
That's exactly correct. They're for people who don't want to do any work. They're people who want to sit on their butts. They're people who want to receive and get something. I was on some live streams a day or two ago with someone. I'm not going to mention their channel, but my question started coming to: how do you expect to get reparations if you don't participate in the system? And then that individual asked me, "Well, let me ask you: when the last time the government gave you a check?" and thought that was a legitimate question.
Drop the mic. Probably moonwalked across the living room. Like, what is this nigga doing? Come back here. You're not done.
Hey, Jose, inquisitive friends, when's the last time the government gave you a check?
I'm still trying to figure out. Are you going to even attempt to ask the right for a check? Or you just all?
It's always the Democrats who got to do shit, man.
You already know the answer. I'm still waiting on Marcel Dixon to run up on one of these Tom Cotton from Arkansas about their reparations like he did.
I mean, that's what these people actually say. That's what these FBA types of these guys are talking about. Give you a check. I don't know any group that's ever just sat back and just got a check. You just got to check. If you want to get reparations and so forth, there's a whole process that you have to really go through to do that. And
process? We don't need no stinking process. Look,
you're just gonna sit at home on the couch.
That's right, man. We got paper and we got a printer, and you can print our check. That's what you can do. What you talk about work? We ain't doing no fucking work, motherfucker. Hit print, motherfucker. Shit, $5 million. Hit print.
and if you want to, I'm saying, the black people in certain areas of this country have gotten some reparations for certain events that have happened. Okay, but they don't even know about that. And you bring that up, to them. What are you talking about? But yet, you want to talk about this big reparations issue. These people think that laying on your ass and doing nothing is going to produce something. That's the reprobation.
Real struggle is not getting paid. Real struggle is not getting paid fast enough. All right, go ahead and quit the Prince. Yeah, man, your mic's fucking up, man. Let's keep going. Your mic's messing up.
And he's against reparations, and he's dead on fucking arrival. Like, straight up. So the Dems don't really have nobody but Gavin Newsom. That's a fucking problem. Yeah, good luck on Shapiro. Because we already know being small had good luck on Shapiro. In this climate, where there's a lot of folks.
But what about the Republicans? Like, man, all this Democrat stuff when you're not even a Democrat. So what about the party that you're part of?
Think Israel gets away with whatever. You call it anti-fuck you want. So good luck with Shapiro. So that's going to.
Trump is letting Israel get away with whatever the fuck they want. Right now. Remember? He ran on how there was going to be a two-state solution and it was going to be done so fast.
Cuomo and fuck Cuomo up. That's three. Three governors. Shapiro is more like the situation.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that, BGS. Your thoughts on Cuomo losing?
Oh, who Cuomo?
In the first place, but go ahead.
What I'm hearing, I didn't really follow it that closely. What I'm hearing is that that homeboy's a socialist. Okay, more like a Bernie Sanders type.
Yeah. He asked you about Cuomo losing, not the dude who won. Cuomo losing. What the fuck is your dumbass opinion on that? You don't have prepared dumb nigga remarks for that? Come on, dude. Come on, man. You're pulling shit out of your mouth when you're supposed to be pulling it out of your ass. Get it right, man.
This guy's a fucking clown.
Did you hear the question?
I mean, these guys are clowns, man.
What in the world, man? Like, bro, he asked you a question that you're wholly unqualified to fucking answer.
Oh my gosh!
Anyway, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
In New York, after number one, I didn't think Cuomo was going to win because of what happened with him as governor.
Yeah, he had way too much baggage. Way too
much baggage, number one, and plus, I think New York is more leaning toward a socialist agenda. They're getting the rent's too high, the quality of living is going down, all that kind of stuff. So basically, I think they want to go in a different direction. So I'm not surprised. I'd have ran Chris Cuomo rather than Andrew for mayor.
Yeah, you saying that because you thought it was Chris.
I said, why the hell would you run Andrew Cuomo for mayor in New York, especially after the governor thing, especially after all those senior citizens died?
Yeah, like I said, he had way too much baggage.
Too much baggage, so I'm not surprised.
But I was getting your thing because when I first said it, you thought it was Chris Cuomo.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo, in my opinion, and basically Louis probably, well, he's not here. He probably is closer to it. I'd have thought that would have been a better choice. I said, there's no way Andrew Cuomo's going to run for.
Nigga, Chris Cuomo. Man, come on, bro. Bro, you would have thought Chris Cuomo was a better choice?
Lord.
A dude with no political background, a fucking Trump dick rider. You think that guy was going to win a primary in New York? Him? What? Come on, bro.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you got it. You got to shake up the Itmore potion, man. You got to shake that shit up before you just turn that shit on to people, man. Bro, you can't be this fucking dumb. I know that Chris Cuomo is the most untrustworthy person that you would ever put anywhere. There's no way.
Oh my God. Anyway, these guys don't understand. But see, the problem is, they're socialists. No, this guy has come through with a very strong populist economic message, and that has resonated, and that's going to resonate in many other places than just New York. And that's the problem. That's what these guys, can't really deal with. But just listening to some of this it's mad funny. But anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You only got a couple more minutes of this ignorance to get through.
Well, Mayor of New York, not after that scandal he faced as being governor.
He tried it. He got torn apart in the debate because of that. He's like, man, because all the dude said was, I didn't let a bunch of older people die. I'm not the one.
Yeah, exactly. And in New York City, folks are still pissed about that. Okay, they're still pissed about that. And so I don't know what they were thinking. But
he got the back of the most Democrats. Jim Clyburn came back and endorsed him. A whole bunch of other Democrats endorsed him.
Yeah, but it's like backing Kamala Harris. Okay.
Yep.
The baggage is too much, in my opinion. Okay, I could be wrong because I didn't follow it that closely. I'm not from the area, so I can only go by third hand. But the thing is, if I'm from the outside looking in, he's the last person I would have running for mayor of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion. Okay.
Apparently, Eric Adams is running as an independent.
Okay. Well, yeah, because the Democrats screwed him.
Yeah.
So he can't run to them. Democrats won't support him.
Yeah, Lewis is back if you want to.
Hey, I mean, Louis probably close.
Yeah.
What I'm.
The Democrats screwed him. You hear that? Unreal. Has no idea what's going on in New York. No idea. But anyway.
But the Democrats screwed him, nigga. Like that is what happened. I may not know anything else, but the Democrats have screwed him.
No, I don't really follow. I don't really know what's going on in New York. Oh yeah, this is all happening. This guy
Chris Cuomo is a podcaster, a journalist, a bad one. one who kisses a lot of rich people's ass, and that's ain't something. Like, if you come into in primary and you talk about common sense issues, and somebody's trying to run this culture warrior shit, you're gonna get blown the fuck out. Now ain't the time for that. You got to come with real answers, solutions to real problems that people face. More people are paying attention now than ever before. They don't understand that. They don't know how to respond to that either.
No, and see, this is the thing about, Amamadi, who actually, won. This guy walked from one part of Manhattan to the other. He walked the whole island. He walked it, and talked to people. Walked it and talked it. I don't know.
The old school retail politician, you cannot beat that.
You
shake
not
somebody's hand, even if they disagree with you, you're probably gonna vote for them.
But this is also the question. When you talk to these people, you start asking them questions about what they want, what concerns them the most. When you're literally talking to the people and doing a direct field interview of your constituency, and you're walking that, pressing more flesh than you can imagine, it's you're gonna come up with the right answers. Because why? Because why? They've given them to you. And so anyway.
I'm saying Andrew Cuomo, in my opinion, didn't have a shot in hell, especially after COVID.
Yeah, COVID had one is the backlash from COVID.
Yeah.
You watch Louis Rossman videos, right?
Rossman, yeah.
One right now where I'm at,
mm-hmm.
it's all turning into the suburbs of New York City.
Okay.
You're having a lot of people that's leaving New York City because the expenses is high.
Mm-hmm.
The price of the cost of living is so crazy in New York City alone.
Right.
You have people that's leaving Brooklyn, coming over here, and Brooklyn used to be the spot where you can't afford to live in Manhattan.
Yeah, you go to Brooklyn. Yeah, go to Bronx.
Yeah, well, Bronx is still they're developing a lot now because
now they are. Yeah, it used to be the Bronx.
That was the hood in New York City.
Yeah.
And Staten Island is the white utopia.
Yeah.
So
Brooklyn was like Brooklyn. When I went a couple times I was in Brooklyn, it's more like the neighborhood. Okay.
Yeah.
And evidently,
if you want a house, go to Brooklyn. Okay. If you want a different apartment,
and it's still a lot of abandoned.
This guy doesn't know what the fuck
high
he's
rises
talking
and everything in New York City. People are getting strained. Like plus people are seeing you had all this money for this Ukraine war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got used to that money with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you got money for Ukraine, but you don't got money for us. And with this,
the fuck is this dumb nigga talking about? Who the fuck is us?
It's
you mean
crazy,
black
man.
people? That ain't how that fucking works. Like these dumb niggas literally think that if they don't spend money on all these wars, they just gonna spend money on black men. No, they won't. No, dude, they're spending on anything else but you. Like, if you don't show up, you're not physically on a side, you want to be politically promiscuous, they're just like, okay, stay your ass out there. Wait for somebody to buck dance and lie to you so that way you can pretend like you're on their side and on their team. When you're actually invested, you get shit. I don't worry about what the Democrats are or are not doing in the Denver metro area. It's pretty clear what side you want to be on in the Denver metro area, even the conservatives. Look. You tired of looking at these Latinos? Go move your ass out to the middle of nowhere until it fucking snows and you can't drive an hour and a half to fucking work. And then you move your ass right back to the Denver metro area where shit work at. Turns out you can look at these Latinos just fine, just as long as your ass can get to work. You think you're on that rugged individualist shit until you move your ass outside the Denver metro area. Outside of Arapahoe or Adams County. Then you realize, well, hey, wait a minute. I can't even get out of my driveway or down my street. Like, nah, man. You are a rugged individualist, right? Like the other 340 days out of the year, you're a rugged individualist with 100% sunshine. It's going to be 25 days of pure hell. And that's when you're going to realize what side your ass is really on. Let's keep going.
This Israel situation, you got money to send to Israel, but you can't help us. Like,
yeah.
Who the fuck is us? Dumb niggas don't have a side. Nobody wants to team with dumb niggas. Period. I mean, you're so stupid you don't even have a platform. You have to come to a dumb nigga platform to have an opinion. That's wrong, by the way. And you still don't know how the system works. No one knows where the fuck you live at. No participation. Like, I don't get these dudes.
Forcing, whatever your opinions is on capitalism and socialism, the people are being forced. Is like, we dealt enough with this.
We're
going to try this out.
Try socialist instead. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Louis close to it. He probably knows better.
It's not. Like, people understand capitalism until they're at the point now of capitalism where they ain't got no use for your motherfucking ass. Then you want or refuse to understand that the American system is a hybrid of socialism and capitalism. It used to be more socialism toward the people's needs. Now it's more capitalistic toward the actual people with money's needs. It's been that system forever. But somehow these people are like, you know what? I'm not going to participate. I'm just going to see money being spent on other people. That's when I start to complain. The moment that I see money being spent on other people, that's when I'm going to start complaining, and things are going to work for us. And if not, I'm just going to try to stop everybody else from voting so that way I can get some out the government. Not how the system works. Never been how the system works. But you know, when you are, when you are an IBM and you have no interest in knowing how anything works, you can't really debate your points. The only thing you can do is wait for an opportunity to get your ish off on the dumb nigga panel, and that's all you're fucking stuck with. Unfortunately. And nobody is trying to get these people on. As much opportunities that all these news stations have, you have not seen an actual segment of any program where you have black progressives go against black conservatives and it makes some type of sense. You've never seen it. Why? They don't even consider black Republicans nothing but stagehands and props meant to weigh down progress. They're not there to make sure anything works. Period.
That's exactly right. They're definitely, and they have no ideas to move things forward, except, well, you don't act good enough to be a part of what we're into. You know, that's the kind of stuff you'll get from those people.
I mean, it's silly season. It's silly season to even think that this is where we need to be at. And it's like, this is just 15 minutes of probably a 4-hour live stream. And the only thing that you see is a bunch of, that's all you see. That's all you see. That's all you see.
Oh, boy.
A bunch of ignorant ass ninjas who just getting their stuff off on the live stream. They don't even know what's going on. And the only thing they got room for is jumping up on the panel and not being responsible for what they're talking about while living in a liberal area pretending like they're conservative. Nah. Right now, a lot of people are hurting because of who's in charge right now. A lot of things I found out about the government about that I had no idea about prior to Trump being there. So these people been getting away with this USID stuff for such a long time. I had no idea what USAID did. No idea. I have to be honest with you. I didn't know until whites stopped benefiting from it. Then that's when I started finding out exactly what USAID was.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. Listen, like, Eric, you're right, man. Bro, they don't have any room for these people anymore. The real Dana this morning was trying to talk like she was part of the Democratic Party again and talk against the conservative movement. Like, it's too late for that. It's too late to pretend like you're reasonable. You picked a side. You picked a side. You did. I know what you did last summer. I know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Remember, she's the clown who came up with MAGA-dos. MAGA and ADOS. Yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Oh, man. Well, that's all we got. Nagone, do you have anything else to try to enlighten these unenlightened, ignorant ninjas about?
No, MOT, I think that was pretty, that was pretty complete. I have to say, it's just, I find a lot of this, in some respects, almost comical. Literally, it's, I don't like laughing at it because it's really not funny keeping people ignorant and not knowing what's going on. But the stuff that these guys are running, it's beyond comprehension, man. I
disagree. I think we should laugh at these stupid motherfuckers as often as possible. They should be humiliated off of our cosmos. They should be jumping on the first actual Voyager rocket outside of the Kuiper Belt. They should be the fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh.
Well, these people sit here is that's how we got the space that we got, because we didn't know that they were stockpiling this place full of dumb motherfuckers to get the more reasonable people out of here. I mean, that's a pretty dope act. I'm not gonna lie. You know, pretending that you want progress and to focus on the actual woman, not understanding that removing her out of power nearly guarantees that you don't get with her, and you're not working for Republican power at all. Damn.
And this is the deal. This so-called black female, she's not in power now. Okay, let's just say this from these guys' perspective.
And she still don't need you. She still didn't turn to you. Now
but look at what these but what are these guys doing on the right that is enhancing black male progress? What are they doing? The question comes to you: what are they doing to enhance your progress, your development?
Here's the thing, man. Like Angela Stanton King, nor Candace Owens don't want to be seen within 150 miles of you, dumb niggas. They don't like you either.
It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious.
As long as they got choice to go choose somebody else. I'm sorry. And black women, look, your fertility window is about to close, and these niggas' mouths need to be plenty open with complaining that they can't get no ass. Just keep playing vaginal keep away just a couple more years. Just a couple more years. These niggas are gonna age out, and just enjoy your infinite dick and just don't get pregnant by nobody. This shit's gonna be all right, okay? With that said, I want to thank you people for coming through, and I want the people who came through. We come through once a week whenever I'm not working here, trying to make a lot more money off of this damaged system that Trump damaged, that I'm benefiting off of. But that's not how I wanted to benefit, by the way. With a bunch of people losing their trucks and a lot of companies going out of business and a lot of companies combining into each other, and that's not how I want this to work. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand how things work, I literally went to ChatGPT, OpenAI.com, and typed in a simple question about birthright citizenship. You got all the cases. You can ask more questions. They can tighten up the argument for you. There is literally no reason to tune in to 4 hours of black male idiocy. Non-focused black male idiocy. And don't think that we forgot about you, Tiason Johnson. Look, Tiason Johnson, if he opens his mouth too loud, he loses his job. Okay? They're trying to get rid of all of these black professors out of academia. That's how come you don't see him around. And that's how come he's not pushing his 155-point agenda, if it's that long. Or maybe it's shorter than that now. Because I'm pretty sure these people got more things to complain about since January. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through on The Man Tomorrow. Make sure you like the video on the way out and hit that subscribe bell. I'll be back. You guys have a really nice day. Peace.